up, everybody? This is Damron with Trash Ass Gamers. We've been playing Bastion. This is part 7 of our complete guide. We've been covering the game from start to finish on our way to getting all the achievements. This particular part is going to cover all of the proving grounds in the game. We're going to do each weapon one by one in order to get the first prize, which allows us to get more items to upgrade all of our weapons to their maximum levels. So let's get started with the Cael Hammer. Going to take place on the Scrapyard. And this one's pretty easy. There's no particular upgrades you need for this one. You can honestly do this one as soon as it unlocks for you. You're going to be in here and you basically have to destroy 100 objects in under 30 seconds to get the prize, the first prize. So you just pick a place to start and go counterclockwise or clockwise and destroy everything. Also, you can roll. Remember, when you roll, you do damage objects, and you can actually destroy the boxes, and that will count even though you didn't kill it with your hammer. So be sure you're rolling around, one, to speed up, and to continue to destroy objects, and you should easily get this under 30 seconds.
The strongest, fastest folks earn more than their fair share.
Alright, so next up is going to be Breaker's Bow. You definitely want to turn on the power string upgrade plus 2 target penetration per shot. The damage can help you in the second upgrade as well, so I recommend at least having those two prior to starting this. Although this is a pretty easy one, it's not difficult, especially if you have that plus 2 penetration. You're going to get 5 shots. You have 5 shots to kill all of the targets in this area. So I like to just start at the bottom and just kill that one, and then I've got 4 shots to line up each line for a total of 5 shots and nab that first prize.
He's feeling real proud of that show.
Alright, next up is going to be our Fang Reapeter. Definitely recommend having the plus 8 ammo capacity. That is critical. The damage is nice, not necessarily critical, but it's going to make your life easier. The first 2 upgrades in this is going to make this much easier. It's not necessary really to go beyond that. So it's going to take place at Trapper Shingle, and we're basically moving through this course, and we have to take out all of the targets. There's 64 in total, and the floor is kind of falling behind us. So if we aren't quick about it, then the floor would catch up to us and we would no longer be able to take out the targets behind the collapsed floor. But it is easy to stay in front of it. I like to just roll dodge to continue to be ahead of the path. You can even roll dodge in front of some of the targets and then run like a little circle, as you're going to see right here, and blast all the targets around you. And as long as you keep pace like that, you should be able to get this first prize pretty easily.
Master trappers got what they needed for a better hunt.
Alright, the next proving grounds coming up is War Machete. Definitely want to have the plus 20% critical hit chance and the critical hit damage. This one can be a little bit difficult without those. And you're going to go to Windbag Ranch for this, and immediately when you pick up the machete, run to the middle and just stay there. You want to destroy all the squirts that come up in the middle, because if you let these guys run away, they will run all over the map and it's going to make it very difficult. So just stand in here, take the shots from the turrets. It's okay, you're not going to die. Just wipe up anything, you know, drink a tonic if you need to until they stop spawning in the middle. And then after they stop spawning, then you can go around and take out the carts and the turrets, because you have to do this in under 60 seconds. And if those squirts in the middle get out, they go all over the outside of the arena, and it makes it very difficult to do in under 60 seconds. So the most important thing, go to the middle from the beginning, swing away until they stop spawning, and then go clean up the turrets and the carts.
Kid carves through all of them in a flash.
Alright, next up is going to be the Scrap Musket. I like to use the 35% spread here, but the more important one is the greater knockback. That's the second upgrade. Let's make sure we have that equipped. If you have that, then this is very, very easy. You've got 15 shots to knock these targets off of the map. That's a lot of shots, so really just take your time. Don't let any of them get behind you. I like to start in the middle and kind of shoot down, basically creating a left and right, and then fire off the left and fire off the right. And again, you have 15 shots to do this, so this one shouldn't be too bad. You should get the first prize relatively easily with the increased spread and the increased knockback.
Best of the best cleared the course in just a few shots.
Alright, next up is our Bull Shield, and this one's actually pretty difficult. You know, it's a Bullhead court, and you have to essentially do counter attacks with the shield to take out all the enemies, and first prize requires you to take less than 3 hits. I should say less than or equal to 3 hits. And the way you're going to do that counter, again, as soon as you're about to get hit, you pull up the shield and it's going to knock back the projectile straight to who shot it to you. And if it's a melee type enemy, they will take damage as long as you block right before they hit you. So really learning when the different types of enemies are going to strike you is pretty critical to completing this proving grounds. It is one of the more difficult ones. It may take you, you know, a couple tries. You saw I got hit there. One of the things that's going to get you is if you're blocking in a direction, you may get hit from the side if you aren't paying attention. So sometimes you just need to get out of the way as opposed to standing there and blocking like I was. But you know, I got to keep it trashy sometimes, take a few hits. You know, if you kind of follow this strategy, take it slow, you should be able to get this one. But it is one of the more difficult. Obviously, there's no particular upgrades with the shield that's going to help you. There are no upgrades for it, so it's just practice.
Smarter ones knew when to just step aside and let things go. The kid pulls it off like it was nothing.
Alright, so next up is the dueling pistols. I forgot to clip the particular skills that you should have, but the second skill, the one that gives you increased accuracy, aka the bullets don't stray off, is pretty critical to this because this one's all about speed, and when you have the further away targets, you don't want to miss any shots. Basically, in this particular proving grounds, when the targets spawn, you have a maximum score of 100, and it decreases rapidly, and it'll stop decreasing as soon as you kill that target. So killing it obviously faster increases your score. So making sure you're accurate and quick on your trigger finger is the way to get the first prize in this proving grounds. In fact, you need to get a score of 700, and that's not much time for leeway. You need to be basically killing these targets pretty quickly every single time if you want to get the first prize.
Say, kid's the fastest shot I ever seen.
Alright, Alright, next up is Brusher's Pike. This one can be pretty difficult. You definitely want the 50% faster throw and the increased critical damage. Make sure you have your Spirit on. That also gives you the plus 25% damage. We've been running it the whole game. It was the first one that we put on. And with those, you should be able to be killing these enemies in one hit and one throw. So as long as you're doing that, it's going to really improve your speed. If you have to hit them twice, this is almost impossible. You've got 60 seconds to hit all these switches. Follow the same path that I'm showing you here and you should be able to get it. But again, the critical part to this is to having the increased throw speed as well as the increased critical damage and just the increased thrust damage as well as the spirit that gives you plus 25% damage. That's allowing me to kill these in one hit, right? That is very, very critical to getting this done in 60 seconds, because you can't just run through all these projectiles. They will kill you. So just do that and you should follow the same path and you'll get it in under 60 seconds.
Dauncy can get you promoted to captain on the spot.
Next up is our Army Carbine. You definitely want the increased aiming speed. The first upgrade doesn't matter, but the 50% aiming speed is critical. You've got 30 seconds to take out all the targets in Trigger Hill. This is also a great place for us to get the Vigil that's associated with the Army Carbine, which I will show you, and that'll be the first Vigil that we'll get in this part. But this is pretty easy. The first few targets that are point blank, just keep in mind you don't need the aimer to all the way collapse, right? They're point blank, so you can get that shot off pretty quickly. And you need to be pretty fast about this because you have to do it in under 30 seconds. That's not a lot of leeway, but it is pretty easy. So here we're going to get the Vigil, the triggers, which is to kill an enemy with a power shot from long distance. Again, this is the best place to do it because they're going to be long distance. So pretty easy though, proving ground to get the first prize in overall compared to some of the other ones.
The triggers, my brothers, bravest men I ever knew.
Moving on to Fire Bellows, you definitely want the plus 20% fuel generation. The extra +1 damage is okay, not necessary, but it's good to have because this one is a speed challenge. This is one of my favorite weapons in the game. It can take out a lot of enemies very effectively. So you're going to have a timer in this one, and you have to progress through 3 areas, and you're going to be killing peckers, and you have to kill all of them in order to get the first prize, and you've got 30 seconds to do that. So you want all of them to kind of bunch around you before you start attacking. That way they're not running away. See how they start running away there? Once you start attacking, they'll kind of run away. Let them get close and then light them up. That way you can kill them all pretty quickly. There's 72 that you need to take out, and this is also the best place to get the Vigil, the Cinders. So we're going to get the 20th of 23 Vigils, and the Cinders is to kill 20 enemies quickly with the Fire Bellow without taking damage. So this is definitely the best place to do that.
The Cinders kept the city good and warm, made it thrive.
Alright, next up is going to be the Galleon Mortar. Definitely want to have the increased blast radius for this. The increased, the other upgrades really don't matter. The plus 25% increased blast radius is going to make this extraordinarily easy. So we're going to go to Boundless Bay, and now you are tasked with destroying 80 squirts in 5 shots, and it's very, very easy. And we're also going to get our 21st Vigil here, which is the Skippers, and that's to kill 3 enemies with 1 shot. As you can imagine, that's pretty easily unlocked when you kill 34 people with 1 shot. So this is a really great place to do it, and this is very easy, right? You have some squirts that are moving left and right across the map. As long as you time your shots to maximize taking the ones that are moving out with the middle, aka you're keeping your shots kind of on the middle group, you should get this easily. Again, 5 shots, 80 squirts, that's a pretty easy task.
You could almost see the fireworks over Boundless Bay. Through a bad lot. The Skippers delivered us from the motherland.
Alright, Alright, our final Proving Grounds is the Calamity Cannon. This is one you definitely want to have several upgrades for. This is a tough one. You want both of the 25% charge up speeds and the 35% reload speed, because we need to be firing shots as quickly as possible in the Mancer Observatory. This is a pretty difficult, if not the most difficult Proving Grounds to do, because you have these conductors on the back. There's 7 of them, and you have 75 windbags. You're basically like playing Galaga essentially, and none of the observatories can be destroyed. 0. And that also means that the windbags, they go there and they attack it, but they can't get next to it, because if they get next to it, you can kill them, but then your cannon will actually destroy the monument. So think about that. This is also where we're going to get our 22nd of 23 Vigils, the Mancers, and that's to kill 3 enemies with 1 shot from the Calamity Cannon. So this is really the best place to do that. This one, again, make sure you have all 4 of those upgrades. Save yourself some headache. Don't go in there early trying to do it with the just 25% firing speed. Make sure you have both of those and the reload speed, because without that, it's very, very difficult to kill all of them before a single one slips past you. Even with those upgrades, it's still pretty difficult. So this will be our final one. Alright, so that's going to wrap up getting the first prize on all of the Proving Grounds. I hope you guys found the guide helpful. I hope you've been enjoying our guides, and I hope part 6 was something you guys found helpful. So next up is going to be the dream sequences. There's 4 of those. Those are pretty hard. So we'll get moving on. If you guys like our content, feel free to like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you in part 8.